Sculpture in India was truly initiated by the Buddhist culture. This stone art, which started with the first caves carved by Emperor Ashoka in the Barabar and Nagarjuni hills, was gradually made more elaborate and imaginative. In these Buddha caves, Buddha symbols are seen in the early period, while Buddha images are seen in the later period. Many scenes depicted in these caves are related to the life of the Buddha through sculpture and painting. Its period is 250 BC to 800 AD. Generally, between 600 and 800 AD, many caves of the Mahayana, Vajrayana and Tantrayan Buddhist branches and their sculptures and paintings came into existence. The influence of the Buddha caves on the Jain and Hindu, according to some historians, Brahman caves, it is seen in large quantities. Many sculptures in Buddhist caves are slightly modified and later found in Hindu caves. A good example of this is the Gajalakshmi sculpture. Basically, the period of Gajalakshmi sculpture is assumed to be 100 BC to 100 AD. This sculpture is first seen mainly in Sanchi and Bharhut. Later, it is also seen in Pitalkhora, Thanal in Raigad and Bahut caves, original name Buddha caves, of Junnar. All these caves are Buddhist caves. So how is Gajalakshmi, who is currently a symbol of Brahman, Hindu, culture? In the sculptures of these caves, when all the sculptures around are of Buddhist culture or are related to the life of the Buddha, how is Gajalakshmi here? This question may be asked by historians. Or the possibility of it being a statue of an archaeologist is not ruled out, but none of their writings mention this question, with the exception of Marshall Fisher and Majumdar, who in 1935 called this sculpture a statue of Mahamaya. Basically, all these sculptures are not Gajalakshmi, but rather the statue of Mahamaya, the queen at the time of the birth of Prince Siddhartha. Mahamaya is completely adorned in this sculpture. She is seated on a lotus. On either side of her are elephants, who are seen showering lotus flowers or other flowers. Mahamaya is a queen, so why wouldn't she have ornaments on her body? Gajar is a symbol of wealth. At the same time, the elephant is also a symbol of the dreams she had. The blooming lotus is a symbol of the Buddha. This sculpture is definitely of Mahamaya. There is a sculpture of Mahamaya on the door of the monk's residence of cave number 7 in Thanal, and on the door of cave number 4 in Pitalkhora. This sculpture was found in the garbage near the door. The sculptures of Mahamaya at Bharhut and Pitalkhora are similar. Another sculpture of Mahamaya can be seen in these caves. There is a standing replica of Mahamaya under the arch of the Chatya at the door of the Chatya in the ghost cave at Junnar. 7 figures in the shape of lotus petals are carved in a semicircular shape. In the middle of it is a sculpture of Mahamaya. Other sculptures are elephants, yakshas and lotus flowers. On the western arch at Sanchi is a sculpture of Mahamaya sitting half-lapped. Lotus leaves, flowers, buds and stems are visible around this sculpture. There is a sculpture of Mahamaya on top of the stupa at Bharhut. There is also a sculpture of Mahamaya in the Buddha caves of Khandgiri and Udaygiri in Orissa. This sculpture of Queen Mahamaya was made by the famous painter Raja Ravi Varma as Gajalakshmi, and his lithograph was made. Raja Ravi Varma spent a long time in Maharashtra and studied many Buddha caves there and took inspiration from them and painted many pictures of gods and goddesses. It is an undeniable fact that Jain and Hindu sculpture was born taking inspiration from the Buddha caves and the sculptures in them, along with the sculptures of Mahamaya in some caves.